I dropped a nuke in Warzone 2 with this new meta optic that nobody is using, thanks to my friend Grumpy Hog that had told me about this literally the game before. Now, if you're unfamiliar, in order to drop a nuke in Warzone, you first have to have 5 Battle Royale wins in a row. That alone is extremely hard to do, but if you can accomplish that, you'll then get a chance at grabbing the Champion's Quest on your next game, which is the nuke contract. This contract is going to spawn in 3 random spots throughout the map, and typically you want to grab the one that is center zone, which I'll explain why a bit later. I decided to grab the one in Seraph Bay as it was pretty much dead center. The short and sweet version of how to complete the nuke contract is basically that you have to acquire 3 different radioactive elements and then plant them in a bomb site and defend it from being defused for 2 minutes. So in order to do all this, you need to be prepared. Number 1, that meant hitting a stronghold to get our loadout and perks, and then going to the black site and completing it. The reason you want to do a black site is because it gives you a ton of loot. Large backpacks, durable gas mask, and lots of kill streaks. And all of these are essential to defending the nuke as the entire lobby works together to defuse it. Now, the reason you want to get a contract that is center zone is that typically the first element will spawn somewhat near it. If the contract was on the edge of the zone, it might only be available for the first or second circles until the gas covers that first element, meaning you'd have to grab it very early in the game. And what makes the nuke contract so hard to do is that each element has some sort of negative effect on you. The first element, beryllium, marks the location of whoever is holding it for the entire map to see, similar to how a most wanted contract works. And with the proximity chat, text chat, teams will literally stop fighting each other and try to go after whoever has the first element. So to combat this, my teammate Azam had the idea to wait as long as possible until we grab the first element. That way there would be less people in the lobby to deal with, and plus the bomb site doesn't spawn until the 5th circle of the game, meaning if we grabbed it early on, we'd have to fight people off all game since our location would be marked. With the way zone worked out, we were able to wait and not grab the first element all the way until the end of the 4th zone. Now the second element will not appear on the map until after you grab the first one, so it was now a race to get the other 2 elements. Since I had the beryllium, my goal was to simply stay alive and avoid fighting with the help of my teammate Grumpy Hog and our armored vehicle, while my other teammates Cuppa Joe and Azam went for the second and third elements. The second element, plutonium, causes constant damage to whoever is holding it, and they cannot heal unless they drop it and get away from it. The good thing though was since we waited so long to grab the elements, by the time Joe grabbed the plutonium, the bomb site was being revealed, meaning myself and him could go straight to the bomb and drop off our elements there, and I would no longer be marked for everyone to know my location. Thankfully, we also got a split zone, which means the bomb site will drop between the zones, and since we had durable gas masks from the black site, we could drive into the zone and drop off the elements early and basically not have to worry about anyone else being there since it was in the gas. To add to the difficulty of all this though, whenever someone is attempting a nuke in your lobby, there is always a jailbreak. So any players or teams that are spectating will have a chance to come back and help defuse the nuke. While all this was going on, Azam was going to grab the final element, tritium, which scrambles your radar and is very disorienting to have. You can barely even tell where the bomb site is when you're holding this element. But with all the elements deposited at the bomb site, we can now arm the nuke and start the 2-minute timer. Unfortunately, Joe had drove through to the other side of the split zone and got caught by a team waiting for him. And then shortly after, Grumpy Hog got downed as well. So this very smooth nuke attempt was all of a sudden looking very rocky. Now here's where the meta optic comes into play, the SZ Holotherm, which is a 3x zoom thermal optic, and there's a few reasons why it's so good. Number 1, it's thermal, and with smoke grenades rising in popularity in Warzone 2, it is the perfect counter. And that was exactly what everyone was using when they were trying to defuse the bomb. Constant smoke grenades kept getting thrown on the bomb as they tried to defuse it, but the thermal allowed me to see right through it all and shoot them safely from cover. The other thing that is so nice about the optic is that it is a 3x zoom, but does not have a sniper glint such as other optics like the Schlager or VLK scopes do. It does have a bit more visual recoil than something like an AIM-OP optic or a basic red dot, but if you tune it to far, it reduces it a good bit. And with a combination of my SZ Holotherm RPK, a bunch of precision airstrikes that I'd saved up, and even my Lockman sub, myself and Azam were able to hold on to defend the nuke for the full 2 minutes. Oh, easy peasy, boys.
Yo,
just got nuked! Let's go! Ah! Oh, that's too easy, boys. Too easy!
Too easy.
Now, guys, this optic works on any LMG or AR. It is a really good option, and it might kind of take over the meta here in the future, especially with how popular smokes have been. So give this a try on any of your long range builds, especially the RPK, since it's the best option. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this kind of tutorial on how to drop a nuke and with this new meta optic. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.